Hey guys, welcome to the video. In today's video we'll be looking at installing the Draco Truggy Tower Braces into your HPI Vorza Flux Truggy. So these braces only work with the Vorza Truggy Flux. It does not work with the Buggy or any Nitro Vorza. Okay, so in the set you will receive the 4 3x10mm button screws, 4 3x20mm stainless steel cap screws, and 4 M3 nuts. You'll get the Draco brace mounts. These mount the braces to the Draco towers. Then you'll get the rear and the front brace. The rear is 155mm long, the front is 55mm long. That's just the stainless steel part only. They will arrive like this, so they are pre-assembled, and I've actually made my own 6.8mm balls out of stainless steel. They are already inserted, and these are the HPI stock rod ends that come with the Vorza, so if you do break one you can easily get parts for them. And as I said, these are 304 stainless steel and M5 threads both sides. They have a little mark here. Please make sure this mark is at the front of the vehicle for both, like this. This means that if you turn to the right, this way, vehicle front, rear, this will be pulling the rod ends inward, so tightening this way. If you go the other way, it will be loosening, or the rod ends will be going outward. Okay, right, so let's go ahead now and install them into the vehicle. Okay guys, let's begin the installation of the Truggy Tower Braces, and we will be starting with the brace mounts. They are also 7075 aluminium, and we will need the 3x10mm button screws. There are 8 of these, and yeah, these attach to the inside of the shock tower facing inward. And just add the screws by hand first, and then I will tighten them up. You will need a 2mm wrench. Here we go. Okay, 2mm wrench or driver. And tighten, not fully tighten, just until they sit against the screws sits against the tower, so they can still move like this. We will compress these later once we install the brace. Alright, so I will go ahead and add the rear braces, the rear brace mounts to the rear shock tower, and then we will continue with the installation. Okay, so let's proceed with the installation of the front and rear brace. Let's start with the front brace. So you will receive the braces pre-assembled like this, and the front brace is set at 38.5mm from rod end to rod end. This is a sort of a general measurement where you can fit, but yeah, please be prepared that you may need to adjust a little bit to make it sit correctly. Let's go ahead and do that. Grab one of the 3x20mm stainless steel cap head screws, and I'm going to mount one end into the brace mounts on the tower. And remember, these brace mounts are not yet tightened, so they're quite loose. And then grab another screw and place it in. Okay, so as you notice, the screw just fell down, so that's the perfect setting. That means that this is sitting in here without pushing or pulling on these two parts, which is exactly what you want. If it is pushing or pulling, then you're either pulling the shock tower towards the motor mount, or you're pushing it outwards, and that would put unnecessary pressure on these mounting points on the plastic bulkhead. So make sure this is not tight. Okay, so now I'm going to press the brace mounts together And now I can go ahead and tighten the 3 by 10 millimeter button screws on the shock tower. You could add some blue Loctite if you wished, but I have not had these come undone during my testing, so just a nice firm twist and that should be fine. There we go. Okay, now we have the flanged M3 nut that you can install on the bottom here. Whoops, where did it go? Right there. Put that on, and then the second one over here. If I can, I'll need the 2.5 millimeter wrench on this side. Okay. There we go, and then tighten. Okay, nice and firm. And these stainless steel screws act as so these are like a sacrificial part. So they bend rather than bending any of these other parts, and you just replace the screw. Yeah, I did have an impact while I was testing, and this screw bent, so there's no other damage here. So I included these to be sacrificial. Alright, so that's the front, and also make sure this mark is facing toward the front, because when you turn it, you can turn it to the right like that, and it will be tightening or pulling the rod ends into the center here. Going the other way would be pushing out. So good. I will return that to where that was. There we go. Just make sure that's straight. Okay, so that's installed. Now let's do the same with the rear. So the rear brace is also assembled, and make sure this mark is facing forward once again like the front, and I have set this to 135.1 millimeters rod end to rod end. So with this distance you should be able to just place it in there. Right, so same as the front, I'm just going to install it into the brace mounts on the tower. Install the 3 by 20 millimeter screw if I can. I'll try the other one. Just like that. And yeah, the brace mounts are loose, like the front. And then, let me get that screw back. And then, okay, so this doesn't quite fall in as easily as the front. So I'm going to have to, let's see, tighten. So I will turn this way to bring the rod ends in, so the screw will fall better. So you can just put in your wrench and then start turning, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, maybe a little more, and then I turn back so it's, there we go, that fell in just like that. So that's a good setting right there. Alright, so now once again I will go ahead and add these M3 flange nuts. These are also stainless steel, and I will need to, there we go, and then tighten these down. Okay, and now I will also go ahead and tighten up the brace mounts on the shock tower. There's 1, 2, and done. Okay, so that is installed, and I might just go back a little more so this is sitting flush. There we go. Okay, so once again, you do not want the brace to be pushing against or pulling against these two parts. You want them to be just sitting in there, so if there is an impact, it will just hit against it rather than have a constant load against these mounting points on the bulkhead, because it is plastic and they will fail. Alright, so that is installed, and now you have a much more rigid platform. With these braces you will have a very rigid platform. Okay, so that brings the installation to an end. I hope that was informative. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section for me and I will get back to you. Yeah, and these are available now on my website at www.draco-jp.com/Vorza parts, or you could go straight to the Draco Store and purchase them there. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.